Ken Silver, adjunct curator at the Bruce Museum, and I'm the curator of the Cindy Sherman Show, currently at the Bruce. I'm also an art historian. I teach at NYU. I've been following Sherman's career for many years, as so many people have. And you asked me what my three favorite works in this show were, or probably this untitled film still of the girl with the suitcase, one of three, standing on the road. It's got a kind of wistful quality and a story of beginnings, rejection, making it on your own. It's kind of, for me, it powerfully ignites narrative, and I find it beautiful, and that whole adventure of setting off on your own. And you can invent any story you like for her, you know. Ambitious girl, unwed mother, you name it. And Sherman wants to do that. So I would say that's probably one of my three favorites in the show. I'm going to go to something very different and quite horrifying. And I know it's a strange one to be a favorite, but I think it's amazing, which is this untitled work from a series sometimes known as the Disasters series. I should tell you that all the series are not given names, but everything is untitled. Everything is untitled from Sherman. But the business, the critics, end up giving the series names just so we can talk to each other and know what we're talking about. This is often called part of the Disaster series. And it's an awful scene of some kind of dreadful regurgitation, whatever, at the beach, a pair of sunglasses with an agonized
Now, is that
face.
actually Cindy Sherman's vomit that's on there?
That I cannot tell you, and I'm going to guess
Okay.
it's not, but it is,
Okay.
it is Cindy Sherman's face in the sunglasses lying down. It is her reflection. I'm going to guess it is not her vomit. I suspect she's a good enough artist, she can create vomit without having to produce it out of her own self. And anyway, the whole point about Cindy Sherman, now that we're talking about it, is that she's not an artist who's going to spill her guts for you. The contrary, Cindy Sherman is all about the masks we assume, not about the self we reveal. She's always hiding that self, or so she claims, so she believes, so she'd like it to be the case, and perhaps she's right. But all of these are scenarios. But the kind of the horrifying desperation of this, whatever it is. Linda Nochlin, who I interviewed for this, the catalog for this show, said, Ken, this is about women's eating disorders. That's what this picture is. Whatever it is, I've never quite seen anything like it. It's terrible, amazing, kind of gorgeous in its own lurid way. So I would say probably that's one of my three.
Okay. Oh,
favorite.
and the third one is your third one. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Yes, and the
we're
third,
rushing this along.
Okay, that's fine. And the third one is probably this gal. This gal. This untitled woman actually clearly posed in front of Bethesda Fountain, or in front of a film still of Bethesda Fountain behind her. And, you know, this is what Cindy Sherman's been doing the last few years, her kind of series of what Robin Garr here at the museum calls socialites. More or less the people who collect her art, who can, you know, afford the highest levels of the art world, etc. And as Cindy Sherman herself says, and I'll quote her, she says, I don't want people to think I'm making fun of these people. I'm reading from my own wall text. I can relate to these characters, she says. It's the way I look at myself, critical but sympathetic. I was surprised when I was blowing them up, this is all Sherman speaking, on the computer by how much empathy I had for them. There's a pathos behind their eyes. I suddenly started to feel sorry for them, and this is Sherman talking about herself, and said at a certain point, I'm as old as my models, because after all, she is her model. At any rate, I would probably say, and I love everything in the show, I'd probably say those are my three favorite.